As much as we like debating the 70-hour work week, there's one thing that most people will agree on, and that is the power of good sleep in fueling productivity. But there's more to it. The iconic mattress brand Kurlon may be 60 years old, but it is changing things up with a new and refreshed positioning. Sheela Foam, which acquired the Kurlon brand last year, has refreshed the brand with a new logo and tagline as it expects to scale up the company's business beyond 1,000 crore rupees. To talk about the refreshed brand logo and a new campaign, which is all about enjoying life's active moments, we have in the studio with us Nilesh Mazumdar, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Sheela Foam, and Ogilvy's advisor, Piyush Pandey, who is known to bring life to brands with his creativity that is engaging, entertaining, and endearing. So let's jump straight into the chat. Hello and welcome to the studio. Piyush, Nilesh, it's absolutely a pleasure to have you both here.
Thanks, Delshad. Lovely to be with you.
Thank you.
So Nilesh, let me just come to you first and ask you what brought on this brand refresh? What is your objective? What was essentially even the brief for the campaign? Let's get into that first.
Thank you, Delshad. As you rightly said, that Kurlon is an iconic legacy brand, and it actually pioneered the concept of modern mattress in India. Now, when we acquired the brand, we realized that while it has a very strong equity and franchise with its existing consumer base, but today there was also a new set of consumers whom we would call the millennials or the Gen Z consumers, who were exploring the world of mattress and modern mattress for the first time. So it was important for us that we also stay connected with this audience and at the same time maintain the equity and the franchise with the existing consumer base.
So tell me, when you first sort of heard about this sort of brand refresh, how did your sort of creative process kick in?
I think the brief, as Nilesh just said, was so open that you looked at it as a challenge. And there's a child within you that comes out. And so when you, in those days, got a sofa in your house with springs and all, the first thing you want to do was to jump on it. So that's the child that came out, and the product, if you studied it, it had all the things that gave you a nice feel, bouncy feel, and a compactness, which doesn't allow you to, kind of roll off the thing. So it looked lovely, and it had number of layers which are good for the back too. And this brand has had a history.
Right.
So we said no, but we are not a hospital. We are into keeping our backs in place and have a lovely feel of the thing. And that's where I remembered the good old hula hoop that we used as a child, and we still enjoy seeing it. And that's when the thought came to me that this is a hula moment. This is a hula enjoyment, and the joy of living. The joy is that's what Nilesh was seeking, and I thought that's a good thing. So me and my partner at the agency, Anurag, and his team, and we all got excited by it, and we shared it with Nilesh and Tushar, who is the MD now.
Yes.
Yeah. And all of us thought we got a hula moment.
Around, like I was saying, these are not categories that you would immediately associate with a lot of engaging, entertaining kind of communication and advertising work. But Nilesh, dig a little bit deeper into this idea of, enjoying life's active moments. While, of course, we know how important sleep is, and there's a conversation around sleep and productivity. But let's not forget the fun side, right? So how important was that? How important was it for you to bring that out? And what sort of, when you first heard the idea that Piyush and his team came up with, what was your reaction to it?
A brand identity, there are so many different elements. There is a logo, there is a visual, there is advertising, there is a product. So everything has to help in delivering the message and the shift that we are trying to do. So quickly, I'll first touch upon the brand logo and the visuals around it.
Right.
We have made changes in the logo while keeping in mind the asset and the properties which are very strongly associated with Kurlon. So for example, the color red and white is very strongly associated with it. So we said we will retain that. We made a tweak in the font so that it looks more modern, more minimalistic to appeal to the audience that we are speaking about. And there was in the old Kurlon a line on the top which was very prominent. We did a small tweak in that line and we gave it a color gradient from light blue to orange, which actually denotes the color of the sky from dawn to dusk. And that is also, in a subtle way, signifies the time when you are in contact with a mattress. So we made this entire change in the logo and the visual, making sure that there is still also a connect with the past.
Yeah, and it's the details, right? It's
And
the
it's the detail
details.
which is very important. See, we ask a layman, he or she will tell you that orange to blue, acha, that I didn't get the way you. But what you got was something bright, something enjoyable, something beautiful. So you don't have to, give it in terms of did you feel day and night? No. Did you feel good and bright? Yes.
It's a feeling, it's an
Yeah.
emotion,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's hard to capture in words.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When it came to the advertising and communication, we realized that in this category, everyone is talking about sleep or a celebrity endorsement. And as a market leader, we wanted to have a completely different take on the category, that a mattress and sleep is always given. I mean, everyone understands that. So we came up with this entire thought that can we think a little bit differently? Because consumer today spends a lot of time beyond sleeping also on a mattress.
Absolutely.
You sit down, you chat, you watch television, you
I
play
remember
games.
when my parents were alive, that on that bed, we used to sit and play the Indian version of bridge, which is called court piece. And happiness used to happen on that bed of theirs. Because you didn't use the tables, you're not bridge players. You found the most comfortable place to play cards, which you were going to play for an hour or so.
On that thought of the life that a consumer spends on a mattress, we were discussing and I told Piyush that this should be all about the musty of life on a mattress. If this is my brief, tell me what we can do around it. And that got so beautifully encapsulated in the line of Life Banegi Hula Hula and the creative rendition, which now is.
It was simple, it was human, so it didn't take time of interactions. The brief was clear, it was a lively brief. So lively response came almost immediately.
And how much of your, I know that Piyush, you draw a lot of your inspiration from, everyday moments. You mentioned a few already. How important is that when you convey it, for instance, to a brand? What's your secret sauce? I mean, it's a...
Eyes and ears open. Yeah, I have always said that to youngsters also, eyes and ears open and a big heart. I mean, one of the commercials with a girl actually reminded me of my own niece, who used to be the head of HBO. And in those days when she was growing up, the first time her company put her up in a 5-star hotel. And she said, she told us all, this first time. So I went, I locked my room from inside, I jumped on the bed and said, yes, I made it, I made it. That moment. If you try and equate that, it is that joy. It can be a joy about what you are so happy about. It can be a joy about a TV song that's coming that you feel good about. It can be a joy about anything. It can be a joy about a promotion. It can be a joy about India winning. It can be a joy about anything. And that's where connections get made. To answer your question, where do you get it from? You, by and large, I found that in my work or the work that I like done by others, there's some touch to humanity, some touch to, you say, yeah, I remember this, I like this, I have done this, I wish I had done this.
That memorability is definitely a rare thing in advertising. It's in a lot of your work. But Nilesh, this point that Piyush made about advertising that's endearing, creative, there's always this sort of versus advertising that's effective. Right? So an idea like this, a brand proposition like this, where you're not just focusing on the sleep aspect, which is fundamental, of course, to, how you sell mattresses, but, something larger, an emotion, more meaningful to people, more human. So is it at all some kind of dilemma in your mind as, as someone who's leading the brand as well as the business? You need to, of course, keep in mind the creativity aspect, but you also need effectiveness.
You see, when it comes to translating into business, there are various elements. So, advertising has a certain role to play. In a durables category, the product, the pricing, the experience inside the retail outlet has another role to play. So, all of them in an integrated manner is which translates into business. If I can get advertising which is endearing and which connects with the heart, I think my entire job of advertising is done. Then will kick in the other aspects of the marketing program which has to translate that into business. And therefore, all those elements as a marketer one needs to work on. So, for example, along with this campaign, we have a completely new range of mattress getting launched, which is a latex based mattress, state of the art, which is good for the back. We have called it Orthomagic, and there will be a campaign supporting that also.
Right.
We are in the in-shop experience, we are investing quite a lot. So, when a consumer walks in, one is able to explain why this product is better than anything else that I have in the marketplace. So, each of these elements have a role to play to translate into
And let
business.
people jump on the mattresses.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Even in
it's
stores.
such a beautiful thing he's saying. A mattress also not a thing that you buy every 3-4 years,
Absolutely.
like cars. Cars, when they advertise on television, they don't try and tell you that this screw does this and that. That job is done when the guy goes to the showroom. This guy, the television, pulls you to the showroom. That guy explains it. Third guy offers you finance. So, it's a process.
Absolutely.
And that process is put together so well that you don't feel that you are doing some advertising which is not connected with the product. So, it's a full chain that he's talking about.
Plans for Kurlon. You've set, of course, ambitious targets for the brand and the business. Give me some of the, what's the crux of your strategy going forward? Not just in terms of sort of a communication perspective, but overall, what are you thinking? What are some of the goals that you've set for the brand? We know it's a legacy brand. It's been around many years. And it's never that easy to, of course, you know, because you have all that sort of good legacy as well as that baggage, and then you're bringing it into a new era, new consumers. So what are some of the key, what's the crux of your strategy?
So, if you look at the category today, there are a couple of very strong tailwinds which are there for mattress as a category. First is the growing consciousness about health, well-being, sleep, etc.
Sleep economy.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially post-COVID. So, there are a lot of things happening in that space which is there. Second is that people are becoming conscious of the surface on which they sleep, and therefore, the importance of a mattress for a good quality sleep, especially in the context of India, where we hear it is one of the most sleep deprived nations today. And the third good strong tailwind is the huge explosion in the residential property and real estate that is happening. So, these are all the things which are working strongly for the category. But at the same time, there is a challenge that the mattress as a category is not a immediacy in terms of replacing. You know, this is the most procrastinated category. Ki theek hai, aaj nahi, kal badlenge,
Why
kal
is
nahi,
that?
parse. I guess it's unlike a lot of your, let's say, consumer durable items where it just stops functioning. Mattress doesn't stop functioning, chalta hai. So, therefore, people, but what, you know, the challenging thing is that people don't understand that if the mattress has got deformities, is actually not good for your back, for your health. So, I think that growing consciousness as it comes in, and as we stay salient in the consumer's mind, both as a category and as a brand, we will be able to nudge the consumer to replace at the right point of time. So, with these category tailwinds that we have, couple of things that we are working on as far as Kurlon as a brand is concerned. It's a very strong brand in both South and East. They are the dominant market leaders in these parts of the country. We are extending the brand now to the other parts of the country, both North and West. So, therefore, distribution expansion is extremely critical for us to make sure that the product is available near the consumer. We have planned a whole host of new models and products which will be brought out into the market in the coming months. We will straddle all price points, right from at the entry level where a cotton mattress user is upgrading for the first time to a luxury premium seeking consumer. So, we will straddle all the price points and all material of construction. And last but not the least, obviously, invest on the brand and on communication so that the brand stays right on top, not only through television, but also through all the other surround mediums also, whether it is social media, outdoor, radio, etc., so that the connect is built upon.
The basic idea has got so much of opportunity to extend itself to any media. You can have such a lot of fun. You can make the medium more exciting than what it is today.
And this is a category where you would want a touch and feel. So when a consumer walks into the retail space, I need to make sure I give him or her the right experience of the product, because this product is not bought by features. It is bought by experience
comfort,
and the touch and feel.
Comfort, right? It should feel like home.
Absolutely.
Your mattress should feel like
Even
home.
the smallest of things. I had a reservation in the beginning when he was talking to me about change of the logo. My first thing was, but our consumer doesn't see the logo on a mattress all the time. And then I realized after conversations with them, but all the dealer shop boards have a logo that big. So it makes a difference.
Makes a huge difference.
It's not a Coca-Cola that you're consuming and you see the logo, because the logo is under the mattress, but he does see while entering. So the impressions are made there. That's how I reconcile to that.
Absolutely. Piyush, I want to just sort of go back to my point earlier about working with brands in, high involvement categories, low involvement categories. As as this sort of creative genius, I know that you can work across brands, but is there a sort of inherently more of a fun challenge for you to work in, categories where again you wouldn't think that you can get this creative?
So I think it's a good question. People think in terms of high involvement. I think when I do communication that I want to make it high engagement. When you engage somebody onto a glue, when you engage somebody onto a mattress, it is what will make that person feel good, what will get him involved. So either you can give it up by saying it's a low involvement category, or you say, I'm going to involve him, I'm going to engage him, I'm going to make him enjoy and hopefully buy the product that I'm trying to sell. So I think it's all in your mind. The people have declared number of, I was given most of my brands when I first came into creative by other creative people who say, give it to him, this is a boring thing. I made a career out of that. So nothing is boring, it is all in your mind.
I think categories can be defined as high engagement or low engagement, but brands always have to be high engagement. You cannot have brand in any category which is successful and not highly engaging.
In fact, if you make it engaging from a low involvement category, that means you have the ability to make it into high involvement category on your own.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the joy of it. That's the joy of when you see it, whether you do it with the paints or glue or anything at all. And now mattresses, and of course getting people to sing hula hula. But just a closing question to you, Nilesh. What's your outlook for the rest of the year? Of course, this year has started, first half has been a bang. We've had 2 major events. We've had the IPL, we've had the elections. As the political sort of scene continues to
Election
evolve.
itself was a hula hula.
But so what's your outlook, Nilesh, and how are you sort of thinking about, I know that you've put in a lot of investments in the brand, how will it sort of going forward, how will your marketing and media spends also increase, given of course the opportunity that you see in the market?
So we are already invested on the T20 World Cup as we see it. The festive season is also very important for a category of this kind. So we will again be investing at that point of time in the brand. There is also a lot of stuff happening at our back end. You see, mattress as a category is a very voluminous product. So you need to make it as close to the market as possible. So we have 11 manufacturing locations where we are making sure that all the models can be manufactured so that we are able to service the customer requirement in a very short lead time. Many people don't know this, but because in India, a lot of furniture is made in the house, the mattress size required is very specific. It is custom made.
Where does it go?
So therefore, we make mattresses custom size and that we can deliver in 72 hours. So therefore, this ability to service a consumer demand also in a short period of time is a big strength. that we are investing on. So, all these elements are there to ensure that the opportunity that we have as we move ahead, both in terms of brand, product differentiation and service differentiation, will be able to translate into good business for us.
Every place is not like a Mumbai or a huge metro where you see a building where everything is the same.
Right.
There's a whole big lot of our country which is making their own homes. They're making it their first homes and they want it their way. Then you have to give them things that they can fit into their homes as per what they require, not because it was a 560 square foot house which is made like this. You can't do anything to it. No.
You
That's
do
where
it
they
your
are.
way.
Small quick innovation that we have done on this, you know, he's talking about the small houses in India, in the rural parts or small town India. The reason why people there use cotton mattresses is because they can roll up the mattress and then put it in a corner because of lack of space. We have got a 3-fold mattress made, which is a complete foam mattress. So you can use it in the night and then fold it and put it at the side. So these insights are very important for us to be able to succeed in a market like ours.
Which reminds me of this story that I heard about you, Piyush, about your red book at Ogilvy, where everybody, of course, had to go out there, you know, meet with consumers, meet with your target audience.
I believe so.
And come back with such insights. You're not going to get that sitting in your office,
I
right?
even
And
tell
your,
them
and your red book,
re-
which I tried to, of course, you know, see if we can get it.
Recently, I spoke to some youngsters and I said, when I say that go to smaller towns, I don't mean that you go and stay in a hotel. If you have a aunt or somebody that you haven't visited for a while, write to her. Say that you're going to come and stay with them for 2-3 days. Experience that life. Going and staying in a hotel and meeting your aunt for 1 hour and saying, hello, how are you? That is not going to teach you.
Absolutely. It's absolutely to immerse yourself, and as a marketer, as a brand leader, I think, Nilesh, given your experience previously, of course, with iconic brands, I think you appreciate that, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, something which is as recent as last week, we realized that when colleges open, there is a huge amount of mattress which is purchased because they go there, they are going into a hostel for the first time and the college may not be providing a mattress, and therefore you have mattress shops which come around the college where the students go and buy.
So absolutely true.
Wow. Wow.
Because
an
good old
amazing
days,
insight.
it used to be the hold all.
Yes, correct.
Well, thank you so much. It was a delightful conversation with you both. Thank you so much, Nilesh, Piyush.
Dilshad,
Lovely
Thank you so
chatting
much.
with you as always.
When you go home, lift your mattress, check the brand name, go to the shop and say hula hula.
Hula hula. Well,
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.